In ancient times, the first division of the heavenly emperor. There is a law of day and night alternation in the world. 10 sons of the heavenly emperor turn into 10 suns, and take turns to illuminate the earth every day. The other year is the height of summer. 10 rounds of sun jumped out of the East China Sea at the same time. Turn the world into a hot furnace. Rivers evaporate into saline alkali land. The ears of rice burned into coke. The people hid in caves, still burned by the heat wave. Even the birds fell to the ground and died. At this time, Emperor Yao turned to the archer Hou Yi. Hou Yi descended to earth with a red bow and white arrow given by the Emperor of Heaven. He carried a bow made of Kunlun black iron on his back. There were 10 arrows engraved with talismans in his waist. Climbed to the top of Kunlun mountain alone. The mountain stone was hot from the sun, and his palm was blistered by the bowstring. But he always squinted his left eye and aimed at the center of the sun. When the first arrow was shot, the arrow feathers turned into a fire phoenix and soared into the sky, and the brightest sun suddenly burst. It turned into a meteor and fell into the East China Sea. The people poked their heads out of the cave and saw Hou Yi's bowstrings vibrating like a dragon's roar. The second and third arrows broke through the air one after another, and with each round of the sun, the earth cooled down by a point. When the 9th arrow was fired, the smallest sun was so frightened that it hid in the clouds. Hou Yi's quiver was empty, and he tore off the hem of his clothes and wrapped his bleeding hands. From the bottom of the quiver, take out the last arrow engraved with the seal of the heavenly emperor. This was originally given to him by the heavenly emperor to punish the sun. At this moment, he aimed at his son. At the moment when the tip of the arrow touched the sun's rays, the sigh of the heavenly emperor came from the clouds, "Leave around, all things need light." Hou Yi's hand shook, and the arrow deflected half an inch. The sun survived, and since then it has been obediently rotated. After this catastrophe, the world has regained its vitality. But Hou Yi's story is not over. He taught people, when disasters come out like 10 days, escaping will only make the heat wave worse. Only face the scorched earth like he did. Use accurate judgment, find the laws of the sun's movement. And decisive action, shooting down 9 days, to re-establish order. Today we are facing a warming climate and resource depletion. Isn't it the 10 days of the new era? Maybe we don't need to shoot down the sun, but we need Hou Yi's courage. See the core of the problem and use wisdom to find the key arrow. 1,000 years have passed. The arrow marks on the top of Kunlun mountain have long been weathered. But whenever the heat is unbearable, there are always people who think of the figure standing in the heat wave and drawing a bow. What he left behind was not a myth, but a mirror. Shine on the resilience of human beings in desperate situations. It also shows our responsibility to protect our homeland.